This is Chris.
This is Kathy.
Welcome to the Underground. This week we're down here in Phillipsburg at Lunatic Choppers.
Let's go take a look inside so I can go break something. We're down here with Dan, head lunatic here at Lunatic Choppers. Dan's going to tell us a little bit about the process of making these bikes because something very special is going to happen in September, so you want to pay attention. How do you guys, craft these bikes here?
Basically, we start out with what a customer or myself wants in a look and a length and the height. We call this one the Diamonds Forever because of the tank. We hand make a lot of the parts on here. So you're gonna get a one-of-a-kind motorcycle.
So these bikes have some really cool wheels. Where do you get the rims for these wheels?
There's a slew of different companies out there that'll cut wheels for us.
That's cool. What is this knob?
That's a jockey shifter. Most bikes conventionally have a clutch on the handlebar. We make ours with a foot clutch and you shift with your hand.
Excellent.
It's called a jockey shift or a suicide shift.
So how much, if I wanted to come in and buy a bike, how much would this bike itself run me?
About $18,000 for this motorcycle.
That's not bad for a custom chopper.
And you're not going to be able to go out and just buy one like this.
And no one else is going to have it. It's not like the, corporate, motorcycles where you go out and no matter how much you customize it, it still looks like
the guy's
every other
bike parts beside you.
Yeah.
We just got this one done. Rigid frame, jockey shift. Our bikes aren't for the meek.
Oh, look, a 6-shooter bike. Get this gas cap. 6-shooter gas cap.
We usually run the big open belt primaries and we always paint them too.
So what's this one called?
Lunatic Grin.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
It's for sale also. It is for sale.
It's for sale?
This week's band is Choking Faith. They're from Altoona. We filmed them a couple months ago. Why don't you go check out their first video.
Your power trap falls to the ground. Your ego left it remains. You bend to left, talk through the lies. Your disgrace to the name. All my heart pounds with this rage. Making hell is what I am. You can take back the words you said. Cause it's swords and burn across the land. Only to get inside. Bones to crush and drums to rush. The mental by my head. To begin the season, the new the reason. Resurrection of the faith. Every time I see you life, only hate and mine. Desecrated, shooting for the pieces of time. Only to get inside. Only to get inside. Jesus, never lie. the new memories and resurrection of the pain. Every time I see your lies, you only hate it mine. These are the things that you eat just to fall down alive. Only to get inside. Sometimes I'm alive. Only to get inside. Sometimes I'm alive. 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 Only to get inside. Inside. Inside.
That's the first video from Choking Faith. We'll be right back.
This is my most favorite paint job in the whole place. Check this out. Chris got to talk to Choking Faith for a little while a few weeks ago, so why don't you go ahead and take a look at what they had to say.
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, as ready as we're getting with this thing. We're gonna tell Joe. Okay, Joe. For Joe, we're not recording.
Don't do that. Don't go. Ready?
We're here hanging out at Dan's house where they all practice, and this is Choking Faith. Why don't you go down the line, introduce yourselves, and say what you do in the band.
Steve, play bass.
Dan, I play guitar.
Jason, I sing.
I'm Joe. I play the drums over there.
Now that that's out of the way, we're almost done. I guess the first question actually would be, how long ago did Choking Faith start? Now I know that this is the new version of it because there's new members in it, but when did the original Choking Faith start? Like how long ago have you started the project?
Do you want to take that one? Or
What year is it?
This is 2005.
Back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s?
Probably about
Yeah.
5 years ago, actually.
Yeah, I actually think I was 12. He and I met down at Aldo's. I was actually singing for... What the hell was I singing for? I was up on stage with Skell.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
So obviously I noticed him right away.
And I got off stage and he was like drunk and ignorant and he was like, "You're all right, you want to sing?" I was like, "All right." And we got together and for about 2 years.
You didn't need to hear him sing to hear that, to know that part.
I was drunk and ignorant, by the way.
Yeah, shocking surprise. For about 2 years, yeah, about 2 years after that, we stayed pretty much just him and I because we're losers.
Yeah.
And then we ended
was
up hooking
great.
up with some different guys from Johnstown, and we had a run for it for about 2 years, and that dissolved. And then for about another 2 years, we didn't do anything.
That was about a year. 'Cause that's whenever I met Joe. And I said, I'm just going to play with Joe. Fuck
I'll
everyone
just
else.
blame Chris for that.
Whatever.
Thanks, man.
I'm here for you, buddy. Don't mention it.
We got Joe, and then we need to find a bass player. And finding a bass player in Altoona, easy. Finding a bass player in Altoona that can play well, different story.
Yeah.
They're still looking.
As any band knows that, but Steve and I know each other for a long time, and he's been playing with Silver Sunday, and I asked him if he'd be willing to step in and help us out. And obviously he said yeah, or else he's just lying to us for a really long time.
Well, that was another thing I was going to mention was being that you're in Silver Sunday. I mean, how fun is it to balance two bands, two practices, two sets of shows?
Between two bands, work, and family, it's hectic. I might have a day off a week.
I always say that being in a band is like being married to like 3 or 4 people with a clip.
I'm not
you know what I
sleeping
mean?
with these guys. I will not
See,
do it.
well, that's just like being married
Tell
then.
you
You
what he
know?
wants.
The sex is over. How fun is it to be in two bands as far as,
You know,
He's like an Indian
It wasn't bad at all until that first show that we did. The Suicide had to back out because of medical emergency, which, you know, family first, always.
Definitely.
And couldn't find anyone else to open for us. Next thing you know, I get the calls from drummer in the other band going, "Hey, I hear we're opening for your band tonight."
How are we gonna open for
Great.
ourselves?
That just pushed everything out of my head.
Two separate mindsets because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
different. They're also completely different styles of music too. So you're really, really going to opposite ends of the spectrum as far as like you have one type of music, the kind of like happier cover stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then you have the Choking Faith version of everything.
And your face gonna make you bleed.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Another question now is, as far as now, I know whenever you guys had first gotten together and you were going to do like the first show back after being off for a couple of years, you were still in sort of like the temporary, I'm just playing bass until they find somebody mode. Is it still the same thing, or is this more a full-time gig now with you guys, or?
You know, I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I'll
Well, let
stick
me be
around.
the person
I was
to
just gonna
stoke the
say-
fire here. Yeah, what's going on?
Say, hey, can we turn this into Oprah?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, new mission in life: make Jake cry. Now,
I can't cry.
no, if they're gonna let me keep showing up, then I'll keep being here.
You have known Steve for a long time, or you guys have known Steve for a long time, and you and Dan have been together in whenever Choking Faith started and everything.
Yeah.
How was it working Joey into the group, the new guy that nobody really knew?
They had to work around me.
That's okay. You want to hear something funny? I knew Joe in school. I was with these guys playing for 3 months before I realized it was him.
Oh,
So last time I
know.
saw him, he had hair down to his ass.
Down to his ass, yeah, yeah.
You had hair down to your ass?
Back in the day, yeah.
You make a cute little girl.
That's what a lot of people thought, too. They'd be like, ma'am?
Excuse
Ma'am,
me.
do you play drums?
Excuse me, miss.
I've always wanted a girl
shave?
drummer.
Now, what'd you ask me?
I don't remember.
Actually, like, with Joe, it was just, I don't know, like, after we got together, we couldn't find a bass player that was worth playing with. And we just kind of, I was just like, whatever. Me and Joe basically kept practicing together for, I don't even know how long. For
Quite
a
some
while.
time.
For a while, and then it just, like, basically, it made it so much more worth it. Because now, like, we're on the same page, which basically paid off in the long run.
Yeah, we're finally starting to get to the point that I can look over and I know that Joe knows where Dan's going to lead into something, or just everybody knows when somebody's going to change that
Comfort zone.
Yeah, comfort zone. Where when you first start playing with somebody, you don't have a clue as to, is this dude going to go into a chorus now, or is it going to be a solo? Is it just going to be a train wreck? And now we're at the point where, all right, I know where it's going to go.
Until we're playing live.
Yeah, well, of course.
www.chokingfaith.com. Check it out.
I just saw it for the first time last week.
Yeah, Dan runs it.
I get all my
Tell 'em that.
information from it.
Hey, there's a nice guest book up on there.
Yes.
You want to make comments to us?
There's guest book, videos, photos, right?
Sure.
And
Supposed to be.
And,
They're getting there.
They're up there.
he doesn't know what's on there. He runs it. He doesn't have a clue.
I don't know what I'm doing. You're lucky that much is done.
Nice.
This interview's falling.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't have to edit that out. You can keep that. That way when they go there, they're going to be like, you're right, you know?
Oh, no, I don't know. This interview is it's derailed as soon as I got here. I have no idea.
There's going to be a sign. There's going to be just a sign on there that just says, through the problems, this interview will not be seen.
All right, we're going to wrap up what is, I guess, an interview with Choking Faith. Make sure you check out their website. There might be something there. There might not be something there. Nobody seems to know at this point. Check it out. Hopefully, they'll at least update their show page so you can check them out wherever they're playing in your area. We'll see you later.
So that's a super professional microphone you got there.
Yes, it is super professional.
Because it says
Super professional.
super,
See, let me see.
super professional.
This is all I can afford because I give bands breaks and they still don't pay me. Well, throw stone.
Jay just got a new tattoo.
Look what I bought with your money. By the way, we got to play 17 more times to get the other side.
It's my new boyfriend. That was Choking Faith Interviews. I hope you learned something very important. We'll be right back after this. Here's the second video for Choking Faith. Enjoy.
One more day, it's all I need to find the guys